Hey everybody, this is Will Jones from Stone Circle Games. Today we're going to be doing a little review of The Manhattan Project by Minion Games. Let's get into it. The Manhattan Project is a classic worker placement game that's all about building the biggest and best bombs that you can. You start with a board full of very basic available actions, which you can take by sending your underlings, laborers, engineers, or scientists, to the appropriate building to do the job. Want some unprocessed yellow cake uranium as fuel? Send an engineer to that building and he'll make you some. Need some money? Send a laborer out to do a job and he'll send you back some salary. One action you can take is constructing buildings in your little home base that will allow you to take more powerful, more advanced actions later in the game. Eventually, once you have enough money, plutonium, uranium, and scientists, you can start to actually construct nuclear bombs, which you can then load on bombers, and you get victory points depending on how big and bad your arsenal is. This is a really solid game. If I was trying to find a textbook example of how to make a worker placement game, Manhattan Project would probably be the one I'd choose. It's got strong mechanics, good balance of costs, nice variety of strategies you can use, and just enough uniqueness of flavor to make it interesting. One of the unique mechanics in here that I really like is the espionage mechanic. Because this is a game about building nuclear bombs, it's sort of got a Cold War feel to it. So everybody is kind of rival nations jockeying for position in this arms race. And one of the things you can do is spy on other people's developments. In the game, that manifests as using spaces on their buildings with your own workers, thus giving yourself access to a greater pool of actions and denying them some opportunities. It's a high-risk, high-investment strategy that can yield some great dividends. But you have to really watch the timing in terms of who passes and gets their workers back when the espionage space is available to use, etc. The Cold War flavor is pretty fun. The art style is this sort of perfect 1950s newsreel kind of thing, and there's even news clippings in the rule book and on the board itself. One thing that is incredibly counterintuitive about the flavor and a little frustrating is that once you build these bombs, you never get to drop them. It's just you have them as sort of a deterrent, and that's your victory points. You can bomb players, but only with conventional bombers to sort of destroy their factories and set back their production. But you really miss the opportunity of, I've built this really cool bomb. They all have names like Big Boy or Ay Caramba or things like that. And you're like, I built this bomb and I called it Ay Caramba and it has this whole huge thing. And now I can't drop it anywhere. It's a little frustrating. The mutually assured destruction idea also works with those conventional bombers. You can build bombers and fighters to defend yourself as well, which works very well so far as it goes. But if you're like me and you get ganged up on a lot by other players, then you find yourself just getting bombed into oblivion over and over, and it really kills the fun factor in that case. I do wish that there was more consistency in how various strategies could maintain throughout the game. You can start out with different strategies going for different resources and different types of production, but eventually they all sort of bottleneck into one area of, okay, this is how I get more plutonium and uranium, and this is how I build the bombs. There's not really an alternate victory condition that you can go for. Overall, it's a super fun game. The worker placement genre has a lot of competition in it, but Manhattan Project actually manages to hold its own very well. If you're into worker placement games, I recommend this one. You're going to get a lot of fun out of it that you can't get in other similar games. So that's the Manhattan Project. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you watching. Go ahead and click below to like and subscribe for more great videos from Stone Circle Games. And until then, have fun around the table.